Folks, Eric Alexander, Director of Vision Long Island. We are on the Long Island Smart Growth Awards virtual tour. This is now stop 9 across Long Island. So we used to do our Smart Growth Awards in front of 800-900 people at the Crest Hollow Country Club. We can't do that, right? So we can't gather. I don't think that place is even open. So we've been going into delivering the awards to local communities. So far we've been in Hempstead, we've been in Westbury, we've been in Lynbrook, we've been in downtown Huntington, Inwood Lawrence, Levittown, Port Jeff, and out in Greenport. So today, though, we're in the beautiful downtown in the village of Seacliff, a great community, and we're delivering an award for Walkability for some of the great work that they've done, both their village and committees in their village, to create walkable, bikeable alternatives and really enhance the great village that they already have from a walking and biking perspective. And even coming in here today, we saw people walking and biking, even with the rain. This is really the type of community that you want to come here and visit for that purpose. So we do have to say we have a virtual awards program where all these awards will be presented September 3rd at noon. So folks need to know that. So we came out of our Complete Streets Summit recently, and with coronavirus, folks are walking and biking more. Folks are looking at outdoor dining. Folks are shutting down streets, and downtowns are doing this in order to really bring back street life and bring back downtown life and really get out of their homes, in a way that's safe, healthy, and really important. So we're happy to see that. Before we get into the substance of why we're giving this award, we received 45 nominations, and we're giving out 16 awards. There's probably 30 grumpy people out there. We're sorry, but we're happy to be here in Seacliff to deliver these awards to these good folks. But before I get into, and I'll ask Alyssa Kyle to jump in and help us describe this category of an award and why we're giving it to Seacliff, but I do have to thank our sponsors, so bear with me. First Equity Title, National Grid, Bartolome Twilliger, 3rd Street Associates, Engel Berman, Heartland Town Square, Mill Creek, GPI, Cameron Engineering, VHB, H2M Group, PSEG, RXR, People's Bank, and AT&T. So thanks to all the sponsors, and there's many others too. Those are our lead sponsors, and thanks to them. But let's talk about walkability. Alyssa, come on over here and describe to us why this type of award is important, and a little bit what these guys are doing.
Yeah, I think one of the main important things about Complete Streets and Walkability, the fundamental baseline of everything is safety, and making streets that are safe for people, no matter if you're in a car, on a bike, on foot, or whatever mode of transportation. But beyond that, it's about making places for people, enhancing quality of life, making it so that much of our public space is in our streets, and making those places where people can be and spend time and get exercise, and not just places for vehicles, and really getting the most out of the streets and making them work for the residents and the people in the community.
Great. So that brings us to the village of Seacliff, and what we're excited when downtown, when towns and villages prioritize this activity, and clearly there was a committee that was formed. And Mayor Lieberman is here to describe the work they've done and some of the people closely involved. So Ed Lieberman.
Welcome to Seacliff. We were incorporated in 1883. It was a walking town back then when the steamships used to come from New York City and Rye and dock at the beach, and you would see we have photographs and paintings from that time, that vintage time in the Victorian age when people would be fully dressed in Victorian garb, making their way up Cliff Way to go to the hotels and restaurants on Seacliff Avenue. So we don't have that now, but we still have a group of residents that look forward to every day to do their walks. So 3 years ago when I became mayor, I believed it was very important that we had a traffic and safety committee. I appointed trustee Dina Epstein, who then formulated a committee, and Dan Flanzek, one of our residents, is an attorney. He specializes in bicycle injury law, so he's very attuned to the legal requirements, so he chairs our committee. And through the last few years, the committee has made recommendations. We still have projects going forward with the county. We've been working hand in hand with our landmarks preservation committee, where they're enhancing walkways and steps that have always been here but have now been modernized so that they can actually be utilized by our residents and visitors. So throughout the village, whether it's down by the beach or through these steps, as I indicated, it's a very walkability type of village. Through the auspices of the committee, we've also asked our young people to ride their bikes to the elementary school with their parents, so we have that once a year. And so we're trying to bring on a feeling of the walkability to all the residents and visitors, either by signage, slow down the traffic, slow down your speed. So we've been doing this on a regular basis, and we hope to continue this in the future in future administrations. So I would like to introduce Trustee Gina Epstein, who is our Board of Trustees liaison to the committee.
Thank you, Ed. A few years ago, when I was campaigning for trustee, I met Dan Flanzig, who had explained to me his career, which was entirely wrapped up with pedestrian and bicyclist safety. And we got to talking, and we suggested forming that Traffic and Safety Committee. And Traffic and Safety Committee, as Ed has said, has been involved in all of the different streetscapes and the walkability. But the entire walkability of Long Island, of Seacliff is tied into all of our volunteers, because we have a lot of different committees that are making the streets walkable and beautiful. We have, of course, our Traffic and Safety Committee, which has gotten help to get grants and has made it beautiful and walkable. We have our Tree Preservation Commission, who has worked on the beautiful canopy of trees leading into Seacliff and all of the other trees. Shade is really important to walkability. We have our Beautification Committee, which has made our parks gorgeous with the flowers and the plantings. And of course, our Landmarks Preservation Commission, which has made it their effort to mark out all of our walkways, paths, and steps, and to preserve them and mark them out so that everyone can enjoy them. So we are a village of volunteers, and I have to say that it is a group effort to make Seacliff as walkable as it is. Thank you, Vision Long Island.
And very well said. And so Dan has really taken the reins as chairman of the committee with his insight into pedestrian and bicycle safety, and has brought those ideas to the forefront so that all residents, young and old, can enjoy the streets and the sidewalks of our village. So I thank you, Dan.
No, thank you, Eric, for presenting this award, and Vision Long Island for coming and recognizing us. Eric has always been so kind to let me come out to his events and present about my work, both statewide on behalf of the New York Bicycle Coalition, and then last year or 2 years ago locally about the work we were doing in Seacliff, and present what we see to be what other villages should look like in Long Island. We're very, very lucky that we have an administration and local government that's progressive and open-minded, and anytime we go to them with any idea about what we want to do to make this a more walkable and bikeable village, they never say no. Especially right now during COVID, it's been an intense time with people cycling. Our village was kind enough to close our streets now on Friday and Saturday nights so that our restaurants can partake of using that streetscape. And I actually, the first time I did it, I biked right down the middle of Seacliff Avenue. It was awesome. It was so nice to be able to use that street and not worry about being struck by a car. We live in an area where we have 2 beaches that are both walkable. In fact, our village is 1 square mile, so everything in this village is walkable. So the concept in the village is to get people out of their cars. And when we talk about building permits and things like that, we don't want to be concerned about parking spaces. We want bike racks. And the village has begun adding more bike racks in front of our stores and in our parks so people can get out of their cars and walk and bike safely. And if you look at the village today, as you guys walk around, you're going to see a lot of construction going on as we're getting in our sewers and they're moving pipes around. The concept when we put the street back is to try to create a safe environment, well-paved roads, plenty of curb line to make it a safe place to walk, so the sidewalks are large enough and safe enough to access, and we can have a place that we can model around Long Island and say this is one of the best bikeable and walkable villages in Nassau County.
Definitely. Well, these guys do it. Let's get them the award. Let's give these guys a hand, everybody. Yeah, everybody out there. Oh, yeah, come on in. Yeah. So, Smart Growth Award. And actually, this is coronavirus friendly, in the cafe, listen, right, they have masks
They're all
on.
wearing-
Everybody's
Even
got
the
the-
dog has a mask on.
There you go. Just to close out, wonderful village, great walkability, great work. It's a place to come, walk, bike, also lots of great eateries, cafes, very unique. A lot of artists live here, a lot of musicians, a lot of very creative activity, and you got a great beach, and overall, it's a great historic village that's well managed, and a lot of creative things happening here. So come down here. Also, we tell everyone, shop locally. Wherever you go, shop local. Local businesses need you more than ever right now. And lastly, virtual program, September 3rd at noon. So check out Seacliff, and we'll have a video for them on all the details on all things they're working on in a few weeks. So again, congrats, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.